Hi, I'm Jack Andrade. I'm here with Mike Lucas, also of StandingOSports.com, and we're going to give you guys a little brief preview of tonight's big matchup between the Patriots and the Broncos on Sunday Night Football from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. First of all, Mike, thanks for joining us here. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to watching tonight in the game of the year?
I mean, obviously the first thing you want to see is, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, two future Hall of Fame quarterbacks, two of the best quarterbacks we've seen in NFL history. They had the little rivalry. Brady, obviously 3 championships, the Peytons won. Peyton's on pace to break Brady's records this year. They have the ultimate respect for each other, the two ultimate competitors, but you got to love seeing them go against each other. That's first off. Second off, he has, the weather. It's supposed to be freezing tonight, high of 28, low of 15 with 30-mile-an-hour winds. How does that affect both offenses? We saw last week the Broncos were able to run the ball against the Chiefs. Will they be able to run the ball against the Patriots? And Stephen Ridley loves to fumble. So whether he sees the ball or not, and how the Patriots run around or plan their offense around a rushing philosophy, maybe that'll be interesting. And the last thing I want to see is how hard the Patriots hit Wes Welker on his first trip across the middle. I want to see if, Dante Hightower, he's 6'4", 265, if he takes a personal foul penalty and just laces Wes Welker. It's his first game back since leaving this offseason. And there's so many storylines in this game, but those are probably the 3 that I'm looking most forward to.
It's pretty ironic that when Welker left and the Patriots brought in Danny Amendola to presumably replace him in the slot, the big knock on Amendola was that he couldn't stay healthy. But Amendola's actually been healthy for the past few weeks, and coming into this game, Welker's coming off with a concussion injury. So I think the Patriots will certainly test him out and make sure that he's not seeing stars again this week. Another big development is apparently Julius Thomas, who's listed as questionable. He's the star tight end who's really emerged as kind of the X factor in the Broncos offense this year.
Where did he come from, by the way? Just out of absolutely nowhere, yeah. Mr. No Name.
His first 2 years in the league with the Broncos, he literally couldn't get on the field. And then this year, either he figured out Peyton's playbook, or the Broncos just figured, hey, we have this tight end who's really athletic. We'll give him a shot. And
during a fantasy football draft season, someone told me, Julius Thomas is going to be a sleeper. And I said, Julius who? I'll draft someone I've never heard of. I don't care who he's on. For, opening night, 2 touchdowns on Peyton Manning's historic 7-touchdown opening night. I texted my friend, I said, I'm sorry. Literally, he told me, he said, Julius Thomas is going to have a breakout year. And I looked at him in the face, I go, smack? So I said, you stupid? Who the heck is Julius Thomas?
Yeah, nobody knew who he was, and next thing you know, he's
10 touchdowns
one of the
in the
3
year.
top tight ends as far as fantasy football goes. Another guy who I fortunately lucked into getting one year, or in one of my leagues this year, is Noshawn Moreno, who's been the top 6 fantasy running back. I got him in the 15th round. Meanwhile, you got guys like Foster, Ray Rice, guys that went in the top 5. That
shout out to really Middletown, New Jersey, and Atlantic Highlands. Noshawn Moreno's back from my home, right around me.
Okay.
Holds him and Donald Brown, Pop Warner teammates actually. Little unknown fact: neither of them played running back. Is the funny part too.
Awesome.
Donald was quarterback. Noshawn played receiver. They still have all the records, but.
With their athleticism, they could play any
but there's a good point you bring up with Moreno. Like we said, the weather could be awful tonight. 30-mile-an-hour winds. It doesn't play into the passing philosophy that both these teams really like to implement. So it could come down to Moreno, Ridley being the 2 offensive stars of this game, just in the fact that they may get 20 to 25 carries. Monte Ball and Ronnie Hillman have had fumble issues this year, just like Ridley. So it could be the Moreno show for Denver, and then whether it's LeGarrette Blount or
Shane Vereen
could get back in there.
Yeah.
Someone's got to pick of the load, because if the winds do get up to 30 degrees, Brady's not going to throw the ball 30 times. They're gonna rush.
It's going to come down to running the ball, making some field goals in difficult situations, and converting the opportunities when they got them. I also think turnovers will be a huge factor. I think the Patriots, hopefully, for their sake, will be really pressing up on the line of scrimmage, making sure that they don't let the Broncos just run at them at will, and forcing Peyton Manning really to throw it downfield into the wind, because as great as Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, for that matter, are, arm strength has never been one of their strengths. I don't really think there's going to be much vertical passing, which kind of limits the value of Demaryius Thomas tonight. But
that's another solid point. You talk about Peyton coming off his neck surgery last year. He didn't have the greatest arm before the injury. He certainly doesn't have the strongest arm now. He's dead-eye accurate. He can make all the throws, but he's not Joe Flacco. He's not Jamarcus Russell in that sense. Just absolute cannons attached to the right shoulder.
And it's good to see is after the snap, he's even better before the snap. I mean, people say it's a chess match, but Peyton Manning's basically playing chess, only he's the only one that's allowed to move the pieces around before the snap, you know?
And last week we saw the Chiefs, when Peyton went audible, the Chiefs stuck to what they were going to do. The Chiefs rarely matched Peyton's audibles, rarely matched the motion going across the field, kept their matchups. Do you think New England is going to try to play chess with Peyton, stick to their guns?
I think Belichick probably trusts himself more than the players he's got on the field, which makes me think maybe they won't be audibling as much as they might in the past. I would imagine Devin McCourty or Brandon Spikes will be calling it out, but this is another spot where having Gerard Mayo just to stop the run in a game like this and to call out the defense and play chess with Peyton Manning would be big time. Gerard Mayo, of course, the Patriots' top linebacker who's out for the season. So
especially with Wilfork being out too.
Oh yeah.
Gregory will miss the game. Denard will miss the game. Talib is listed as questionable.
He's questionable.
Yeah, he's listed as questionable. I mean, this secondary is banged up, and you look at all the weapons that Denver has.
Yeah, I think they have like 4 or 5 guys in the secondary questionable. So.
And I mean, Denver has 4 or 5 guys that are legitimate Pro Bowl contenders at receiver. So that matchup in itself favors Denver significantly.
Definitely.
But never count out.
The Patriots' best defender tonight is going to have to be Mother Nature, I think, to slow down Peyton Manning in that offense. But, all right, we're running low on time here, so real quick before we close this out, I got to get a score prediction from you. Who's going to win and what's the final score going to be tonight?
Now, a lot of people are calling for a shootout, but with the weather, I just can't see it. I think Denver wins. I think the injuries to the secondary and on defense really cripple the Patriots. But I see Denver winning 23-16.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Patriots just because I think they're motivated. They're angry after last week's controversial loss to the Panthers. I like you, think that it's not going to be a shootout. Typically, when these two quarterbacks get together, it's a little bit less high-scoring than people envision because both teams kind of try and possess the ball and really dominate the time of possession to keep the other quarterback on the sideline. I'm going to go with the Patriots in a bit of an ugly game tonight, but I think that they're going to find a way to get it done, and I'm going to take New England in this one 24-21. Mike, thanks for taking the time, and we'll do it again if this one gets good reviews.
Sounds good to me, Jack.
All right.